You've come and watched us before. I did a bratwurst last time with a Guinness mustard glaze for our little tailgate party. We also did a brisket quesadilla. Today we're going to be doing a three-way meatball party. Three-way always sounds like a good time, right? Well, we're doing the meatballs three different ways. First is going to be the classic, what you're used to at home, onion, bell pepper, whatever you typically use in like a spaghetti type meatball. Today I went ahead and chopped up, super easy, one garlic clove. You want to do about a quarter cup of onion, depending on what you like. Like I always say, do what you do. You want to do about a quarter cup of green pepper, and I did about 2 or 3 tablespoons of a diced sun-dried tomato. You can find those packed in oil or dry. I picked the dry this time. They usually have a little bit more flavor in dried items. So we're just going to let all that go. This is about a pound of ground beef. So we're going to make some really yummy meatballs here. This is the way my mom made them when I was a kid. Now we are going to do all of this in the oven. It's a little different for most people. I'm adding about a tablespoon of salt and my 2 favorites, basil and oregano. You really can't go without these when it comes to Italian cooking, meatballs. You know, depending on what you like, put what you like. I do about 2 tablespoons on each pound. So, you know, whatever you feel comfortable with, however much oregano or basil you prefer. Basil's all. These are the moments I wish I had an assistant on the show so I can get somebody to open this bag for me. God bless. Luckily, I have a big, strong man watching football in the next room. We gotta open
this without any trouble.
I swear it's oregano. I swear.
I got it there.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Fantastic. Thank you. See, men are always willing to help out when you're feeding them, right? So call your buddies in the kitchen. Have them help you out. No fair for them to be lazy asses drinking beer and watching the game and you're missing out. So give them help, right? Make them help you out. Now, when it comes to meatballs, really, they're like small meatloafs. I know a lot of people hate meatloaf. They don't want to hear the word. They don't want to hear that meatballs are like meatloaf, but I'm sorry they are. Basically, the only thing that's going to keep your meatballs together is a little bit of egg and a little bit of breadcrumb. This is basically just a binding agent. These will keep all of your lovely ingredients from falling apart from one another. Now I'm using here, these are called live breadcrumbs, which just means that I didn't bake them off first. I didn't bake the bread first. I just went ahead and took some regular bread, any kind of bread you have around the house will work, threw it in a food processor, pulse. When it looks like breadcrumbs, it's breadcrumbs. Here's a fun part, getting all dirty. I'm a dirty girl, I like it. I play in the mud, I don't care. I've been on 4-wheelers, I'm not scared. It's all right. Get all dirty in here. Now you don't want to overwork the meat too much because that will make the meatballs a little tougher. So once all of the meat kind of sticks to itself, you don't have too many pieces breaking off, you're just about done there. So I'm going to go ahead and start making some bowls. Might as well, right? I don't know how big you like your balls. I like mine about medium size. Gotta do it big, right? Some of you guys like big balls, whatever you want to say. I don't care. We're just going to get these guys on the pan here. I have my oven preheating. It's sitting at right about 400 degrees. Everybody's oven's a little different, so you never know. You want to judge it by, well, knowing your oven. So we're going to be doing 2 other types of meatballs today. Some kind of funky stuff, maybe nothing you're used to, but who says that's a bad thing? I personally like to try new things all the time. So I'm going to be doing also today a Greek meatball. I know y'all are thinking, what the hell is a Greek meatball? Well, I'm going to show you. Something I came up with all on my own, and it's a pretty tasty little deal. I haven't had any complaints out of it ever, and I'm sure your guy friends aren't going to complain, especially because your lazy ass is cooking. So I'm going to go ahead and pull my ingredients that I have handy sitting over here for our Greek meatballs. Now, I'm going to be using an ingredient that some of you may not know. However, super easy to find. Go to your grocery store. They should have it. If they don't have it there, you can substitute just olives. It's not a big deal. If you like black olives, use those. You like green, use those. You want to use a mix, do whatever the fuck, I don't care. It all turns about the same. This is actually called tapenade, and it's a Greek Mediterranean type spread of olives. If you've ever had a muffaletta, it's the really amazing stuff that's not meat on it. So I like to use this to flavor ground beef, and I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it has such an amazing flavor all of its own. There's a lot of vinegar and garlic and fantastic things that go along with it. But what's fantastic is, like I said, you can pick it up pre-made, so nothing's really easier than that. Of course, we're going to do about a tablespoon of salt, same as the last. I'm going to do a little bit of oregano again because this is, once again, a very, very popular. When you're using dried spices, it's always good to kind of rub them in between your fingers. It lets some of the natural oils that are in those spices out so that you can mix those flavors in better. Here I have about 2 to 3 tablespoons of sun-dried tomatoes. Those are fantastic. And we're going to do about 3 tablespoons of this. I know I'm using a fork. Whatever. I do what I do. That's the great thing about cooking versus baking is you really don't have to be super exact with these measurements. Nothing that I measure is ever the same 2 times in a row of me cooking it. It's always different, and that's the great thing about cooking. So I threw in about 4 or 5 tablespoons of feta cheese, and we're going to do a little bit of basil there. Mix all this in really nice. Fantastic. And this already has kind of a good texture for meatball, but we're still going to add a little bit of egg because remember, that's your binder. That's what's going to keep it together. One of these eggs will do 2 pounds of this meat. So if you're doing 2 versions of these meatballs, it's perfect. We're going to add a little bit of breadcrumb again. Definitely don't want these falling apart in the oven. If anybody's ever made hamburger patties and they fell apart on you on the grill, that's why. You need a little bit of something to keep it together. There we go. Looks kind of funky, super colorful, but it works out just fine. So our meat for our second batch of meatballs is all ready to go. Let's come over to this oven and see how these meatballs are doing, shall we? Not too shabby. Now, when you do meatballs in the oven, newsflash, they're not going to be perfectly round unless you rotate them on all their sides. And let's be honest, nobody really cares if meatballs are fully round anyway. My mom always told me never trust perfectly round food anyway. So, the meatballs should take about 10 more minutes. The third version, again, is our bacon cheeseburger. That's right, boys, bacon. I know how to get you in the kitchen. So, very simple. Again, pound of beef. Very, very simple. Just a little bit of onion, about 2 tablespoons, not too much. Not everybody likes onion on their burgers. We're going to do, I used about 4 or 5 pieces of bacon, just went ahead and fried them up in the oven. If you've never done that, it's an awesome way to cook bacon. It doesn't pop you, it doesn't roll up on you, works out just fine. You want to do that at about 450 for about 12 to 15 minutes, and that should work out just fine. I'm going to do about 2 tablespoons of this dill relish. Now, I know, relish, but it's the American burger style. You got to do it, right? McDonald's says it goes in the burger, it goes in the burger. So, we're going to do a little bit of cheese here. And I know it's crazy, but you're just going to put it right on in. I'm a huge cheese fan, as we've gone over in the past. So, a little bit of egg. Same process. If y'all are noticing, if you learn how to make one kind of meatball, you've learned how to make kind of all of them. You want to use some kind of cooking spray, something to grease your pan if you're using glass and not foil, and even if you are using foil, you're definitely going to want to use some kind of nonstick. These Italian meatballs have been sitting over here. They're done cooking. They look fantastic. So I'm going to let my gentleman friends over here who have been patiently waiting try a sample or two. Sound good, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. So I just bought some regular hoagie rolls, no big deal, nothing too fancy. You can get these anywhere, Walmart, Kroger, doesn't matter. Same deal I did last time with the bratwurst, and if you missed it, shame on you. You should go look it up. Fantastic. We're just going to hollow these out a little bit. How many bowls do we like?
3.
Oi, a big bowl eater.
Ready to put it on my plate.
Fantastic. Looky there. Ta-da! See, friends are happy. Simple, simple, simple. 2, 3 ingredients. Doesn't take much. If you go by the right ingredients, 2 or 3 things, make sure that they're high quality, then you have no worries. Everything's going to be good. Your boys are going to go back to their couch. They're going to sit down. They're going to set their faces, and you won't hear anything else out of them, which is fantastic because now you don't have to listen about whose fantasy team's ahead and blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares, right? You don't want to hear his smack talking. We hear enough of that, right? Let's start assembling some more bowls. Y'all love to see my hands full of meat, don't you? I know. I know. I know. It's good, though. Because I'm so nice, I massage it. You got to massage it. You got to be nice to it, you know? Show the meat some love. That's a big old meatball. I'm proud of that one. All right. So, fantastic. Ooh, big old chunk of bacon. These are going to be good, guys. Hooray. Okay. Let's see if we have room in here. All right, so we were just about to pull our Greek meatballs out of the oven. They've been in here for about 15 to 20. You see these delicious cheeseburger guys on top. Look at these, absolutely gorgeous. Warm. Okay, back up top. Pull that bread out like a professional. Doesn't have to be perfect. You can kind of, it's bread. You can mold it. Aww, look at you. So cute. Here, this is what we'll do. Y'all can serve. Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, look at you.
Oh, yeah. Give me a
Oh, just those two, huh? Whatever's available, eh?
Those two.
Perfecto.
Awesome, thank you.
Uh-huh.
I'll come back to those later.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So there she is. Perfecto. How about that for a sub? Navy doesn't have anything on me, let's be honest, right? Fantastic. So I still have one more set in here. It's the bacon cheeseburger, almost ready to go. We're just waiting on these meatballs to finish cooking. Shouldn't take long. What do we think of those meatballs, guys?
Woo!
Yay!
Sure, one more.
The only problem with these things is they seem to disappear. So as long as you can handle that, then you should be all right.
Ready?
I have a perfect solution for this. There we go, spatula. It always helps if you use the right tool, right? So I'm going to serve up my last little meatball sub here. Some bacon and cheddar action. Gotta love that. It's always good. Hooray. There we go. Ooh, and that bacon really crisps up in that oven. Fantastic. So there's the last of the bad boys. The bacon cheeseburger meatball. Your friends are going to go, where'd you come up with this idea? Well, you know how Mary Jane is. Get your creative juices flowing. So, like I always say, do what you do, though. You don't want the relish in yours, don't do it. You don't want to use a mixed cheese, you want to use a cheddar, do it up. It is what it is. Oh, I had to Had to do a Greek. These are always my favorite. Little bit of hummus. Makes your life awesome. A little bit of this. A little bit of balls. Y'all in the phallic symbols in the mouth. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are we catching it? Should I blow it first? Be nice to it. Mmm. Mmm. Am I killing y'all yet? Awesome. So they turn out really, really awesome, guys. So hopefully you're cooking along with me. Hopefully you're coming along on the journey and having a good time. Hopefully you're still doing what you do.